Hi, welcome to the Clarion Energy News Studio in Nairobi. Today I am speaking with Emily and we are talking about the last mile. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you.
The first thing that I want to address with you is last mile. Why is this still an issue, especially in East Africa?
So when you are trying to connect people to the last mile, especially with electricity networks, what it's important to keep in mind is that the last mile is often the same. It's the same in a number of different sectors. So the last people to get energy are also the last people to get internet, the last people to get roads, the last people to get good education systems. And so you're not just dealing with the lack of one resource, you're dealing with the lack of many resources. And when you're dealing with a very logistically complex project like setting up power networks, which is expensive, low margin, you have to deal with both the technical side and the customer management side. All of those logistical complications can make projects really challenging.
And we find that even people that are close to the grid, they still don't have power. Why is this?
So there's a really interesting sort of perfect storm of issues when you're trying to connect a new person to the grid. They've never had electricity before, so they don't have a huge amount of demand because they've been using extremely expensive power from kerosene, from diesel generators. They've never wanted or it's never made economic sense for them to buy a lot of electrical appliances that they can't afford to power. And so when you first connect them, they use an incredibly low amount of energy. And for a utility that is trying to operate in a financially sustainable way, that's really quite a problem. They look at, if I'm going to spend $1,000 connecting this person, what is my payback going to be? And at the offset, that looks like it will never happen. And so there's a really difficult kind of hurdle to get over, which is once someone is connected to the grid, you then have to get them using more and more electricity so that connection can pay off.
So we're looking at the last mile and it is achievable. So is the fourth industrial revolution a possible solution to achieving it?
Well, I think that the technology that we need to solve this problem exists today. I think that new technology certainly makes it more feasible, and the renewable generation, distributed generation, all of these, the falling cost of renewable energy technology certainly plays a big role, I think. I don't know if that really falls into the fourth industrial revolution, but the other side of that is the intelligence that you can actually put into a grid right now. The key to connecting the last mile on the very aggressive timescales that everyone puts out, I don't know honestly if that's possible, but the key, if it is possible, is automation, smart metering, intelligence in the grid that actually allows the same workforce to accomplish much, much more over a shorter time period. So I think being able to do things like collect data remotely, have credit enforcement remotely, you don't need to send a person around to go collecting electricity fees. All of that makes a much smaller workforce able to do much, much more. And that really will be the key, I think, to making this happen.
Earlier you were saying about consumers not really having that much demand for electricity because of what they have been using. But once they do get connected, what is the next step for not only the customer but the utility?
So the companies that SteamaCo deals with are sort of a different kind of utility. They're not the traditional utility. And they actually take the customer management side of their business incredibly seriously. To grow demand, that is absolutely key. There has to be a lot of trust between the consumer of electricity who's spending a lot of their income on power and the utility that has invested in that customer. So one of the things that they're doing is an appliance leasing program. So people who don't have very much access to capital, who don't have those electrical appliances, maybe can't afford to buy new ones right away, even if it would help their business, even if it would be profitable for them. And so the utility, because they have an actual remote connection to the customer's power, you can use that as a credit enforcement mechanism. And all of a sudden those customers become, even though they have no credit history, even though they have no bank account, they become a viable candidate for a leasing program, something that will let them grow their business, that will let them start using electricity more productively. And that we see very, very promising results. that has a lot of potential to increase energy demand much more quickly than it would grow organically.
And as you said, the last mile is not just about electricity, it's about being a participant within the economy. Thank you so much for sharing. And thank you for watching.